Welcome back, everybody, to the Leaders Talk podcast, where I'm your host, Jacob Pito. I'm going to interview leaders from every industry, from athletes to CEOs to pastors to coaches to the people that you look up to and admire most. So if that sounds like something you like, feel free to subscribe and enjoy the rest of the video. But today, I have a special guest. Not only is he an influencer with amassed over, I think, cross platforms over 200,000 followers, no?
Like
Something.
100,000, something like that.
150. I think it's over 150,000 followers. We're gonna prophesize it. A walk-on at North Carolina AMT, right?
North Carolina A&T, yeah.
A&T. And above all else, a man of God. But I think this interview is gonna be interesting because you're at a point, like we spoke a little bit off camera. You're at a point that you're on that climb. And your future is very bright. Like, you know exactly what you want. You know how you're going to get there. And you know if you just stay consistent, you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So I think this interview is going to serve to be like talking a little bit about what you've been through. You have the success already. You know, people are inspired by you. People look up to you already. So, and then you have the future. So it's like you have a lot. So it's interesting. We're at a middle point right now that I'm interviewing you. So, Cam Joseph. I forgot to tell you. It's my pleasure to interview Cam Joseph. So I usually start off with the most important question out the gate. Coke or Pepsi?
I don't drink soda.
Everybody says that. Every athlete that I've had hasn't said
I
anything.
stopped drinking soda. I used to drink like Sierra Mist, Sprite and stuff like that like a while ago. But like November, that's when I was like, all right, bro. Like if I'm an athlete, like I don't see the point of me drinking soda. Like I just substitute it with Gatorade and water.
Yeah.
So
now that you're up in...
And apple juice.
Apple juice is good. I feel healthy every time even though it's probably not healthy. It has a lot of sugar.
Really?
I mean, it has a lot of sugar.
I don't want to believe that, bro.
All right. No, I say you have actually, hold up. I know you have like a weird obsession with apple pie. So I just want to clarify that. What is that about?
All right, bro. So we all have like those, what's it called, a sweet tooth? Where, like,
Sure.
We love like
Sure.
stuff like that. Apple pie, it's just like different to me, bro. The Publix apple pie, people don't understand my love for that. It's like, it's different, bro.
Do you have one in your room right now?
No. I don't got one in my room right now. Like, it's just like one of those special occasions where it's like, no matter how old I get, no matter how far I go, the apple pie will always be like that one thing I always go back to.
That's good. And now that you're not in Miami anymore, hot or cold weather?
Hot or cold weather? I like hot weather. I can't do cold weather. It's cold up there in North Carolina.
Yeah, I guess in wintertime it gets cold up there.
I love it down here, bro.
But you've been adjusting to that. You already adjusted to that climate already? That's good. So I want to start off in the beginning of your story. You used to make videos, like just drill videos, and you can see the improvement from the latest video that you just published to like your first video. Like the quality, how you talked, how you presented yourself. Who was Cameron in those videos?
Cameron was low confidence. Cameron had a passion to produce these videos, but Cameron didn't understand it. He didn't have nobody to guide her, so he was making mistakes along the way. It was just really him and God just going at it and producing these videos.
Yeah.
It was trial and error, the cringiness in the videos. I had a passion. I wanted to be something great. I wanted to do something great, but I didn't understand how to do it. So it was a lot of trial and error and things that I had to do in order to keep climbing.
Yeah. And how do you think you figured that out? Like how you would get to the position you want to?
The people that God placed in my life. Honestly, without my pastor, Angel, my mom, my dad, my mentor, Coach Hill, without those people in my life, I don't know if I would be here today, because like a lot of the stuff that happened in my life, they guided me through it. That's the important part about mentors, is they really speed up the process when it comes to certain things. Because a lot of the certain things they went through, they could guide you and teach you how to go through it, rather than you going through that trial and error yourself.
Yeah. And what's like when you think about a mentor, like you said, your pastor, your mom, what's something like in a piece of advice that they gave you that really sticks with you, that you follow every day?
I'd say the biggest part that stuck with me that my coach Healer gave to me, my mentor, was the confidence aspect when it came to playing sports, when it came to playing football, because that confidence translated to outside the sport. Because it was like before, bro, I couldn't even talk to a camera, bro. It was tough talking to a camera. It was kind of cringy, bro. And it was hard at first, but as I got used to it, as my confidence built up, like my confidence was built up, like 7-on-7, going against those teams.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember that game we played against DEFCON. That game,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
Like my confidence was at its peak right there, even though we were losing. My
Yeah.
confidence was right there.
Yeah.
And when I'm most confident, when I'm most happy, that's when I start smiling. That's when it's like, all right, yeah, I love this, bro. So
Yeah.
those moments, like, that's what, like, the confidence aspect, that's what, like, built me up. Because I never used to have anything.
Do you think now it's been, I think, 4 or 5 years of you creating content, right?
Yeah.
While at the same time playing football. Like you documented your whole high school process.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The 7-on-7s, the freshman year not having, Cameron was like scrawny, slow. What was your 40 was like a 5'2", 5'3", something like that.
Terrible.
And now get to the point where you are when you're almost I think a 4.5 was it, no?
4.6,
4.5, 4.6. You're gonna get to a 4.3. We're getting there. We're getting there. But to see that process, do you think you're more of a creator than an athlete, or is it like a harmony?
It's a harmony, bro, because, like, I feel like there's no me without football, and there's no me without creating content. So it's like they intertwine. And, like, some coaches may say, like, oh, the created content is a distraction. But I say that it made me better. Like, creating the content around those videos pushed me because the people that got inspired by watching those videos, it was like, all right, I got to go even harder. Like, every video I post, I got to go even harder. All right, with that video, I gotta go harder in the field. It's like with the 7-on-7s and 1-on-1s I post, bro, I can't go out there and suck, bro. I have the ball.
Yeah.
If I suck at those, bro, like, people are gonna start looking sideways. Like, I have to perform each video. Like, there's eyes on you. Like, when you're recording and people see you on the camera, they're like, they expect you to do something on it, bro.
In the earlier stages of you creating content, was there a lot of people telling you like, yo, why are you doing this?
I'd say I actually had, like, a decent amount of support. Like, there wasn't that many people saying, why are you doing this? There was just a lot of people when I set the goals that I had with creating content where it was like, all right, I want to document my whole journey and make it into the NFL. That's when people were like, what? That's when people are confused because it's like, nobody's ever done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from, like, Beyond Reality, documenting the journey, go beyond to D1 football. Like, there's the two brothers. Like, nobody ever documented their journey themselves, like, by themselves. So it's like, me trying to accomplish the impossible is something like you never seen anyone do. Like, people doubt what they've never seen before. So it's just natural for humans to be there.
And so then what's your whole goal with the creating
goal?
content?
To basically document the whole journey of me playing football from high school to the NFL.
And there hasn't been many people to do that. Like you said, just Beyond Reality is like one of them, but apart from that, there hasn't been like, it's not like a community of people that are doing that.
A community of people doing it. Like,
so you have a big opportunity if you stay the course and continue.
It's really like destroying AJ Green, destroying documented, but I don't think destroying like plays football like that anymore. But like, there's not really that many people in the football community.
And do you think you're caught for that? You think you're really gonna? Why?
That's literally what I've been born to do, bro. Like, I remember 7th grade. I don't tell the story often, but basically, I was like, that's when I got saved as well. Like, I gotta give glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
100%.
So, like, 7th grade, bro, I played for Coconut Creek Eagles. I was like getting bullied in middle school. I wanted to quit football around that time, and I was like, God, if this sport is really for me, if you want me to continue playing this sport, I basically said, God, let me catch a touchdown tomorrow, and I'll spread your name through this sport and continue going. And it gets to the next day, we're late to the game. I don't even get to start that game. It's getting towards the end of the game, 4th quarter. I'm sitting on the sideline. Although I just had a little bit of faith. The Bible talks about how a mustard seed of faith can do so much. I had a mustard seed basically, and I basically said, God, all right, if you're real, let's see something. So basically, I'm sitting on the sideline with my helmet on. Although I doubted it a bit, I still was prepared with my helmet on and stuff like that. All of a sudden I heard, Cam, my coach just called me. I look around. Oh, you Cam? So he calls me over. I'm like, what's up, coach? He's like, they scored already, so it's like a 2-point break. He's like, tell Marquell to throw you the football on a slant. I was like, what? He said, tell Marquell to throw you the football on a slant. That's the quarterback. So I line up, I head over there to the huddle. I tell the huddle, tell Marquell. Coach said, throw me the ball on a slant. The whole huddle, what? Throw me the ball on a slant. I line up on the outside. I line up at Z, right side of the field. I remember this so vividly, even though it was so long ago. I line up, I run the slant. The linebacker jumps the route and catches an interception. I promise you, it's in his hands. If somebody catches the ball like this, it doesn't just magically go anywhere.
Yeah.
The ball bounced out of his hands, into the air, over his head, and landed in my hands, bro. And I was like, all right, God.
And you scored.
Yeah. Got my answer. So at that point, I also had the passion for YouTube. It was like, all right, to spread the gospel, I gotta document this journey to inspire people.
Yeah.
So started recording the video and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's when I started recording, posting videos in 9th grade. That's when I was slow as dirt. I was unathletic. There was no reason for me, like, looking back now, there was no reason for, like, without God, there's no way I could have became the person I am today.
100%. And I think also, like we spoke a little bit off camera, that sometimes I truly believe with all my heart that God has already ordained something for your life, but apart from that, the bigger the platform you have, the more reach you have to spread the gospel, to give glory to God, right? To point people to the truth. And that's why I think it's so great what you're doing. Like, not only are you a creator, not only are you an athlete, but you're a man of God. So it's using that platform and leveraging that. It's not for your own benefits, not solely on, like, you know, I just want to make money from this. Not like, you know what, let me spread the gospel from this. Let me touch more lives. Let me inspire people. And that's like the core of it. So it's cool to see that. Now, did you know that 9th grade year, like you said, when you started recording, did you know everything I just said? Or what was your mind at when you first got the camera and pressed record?
Oh, I envisioned me being here today. Like, there's videos of me back then, just basically, I have the videos saying where it's like, all right.
So you knew you were going to be here today?
Yeah, I knew I was going to do this. God told me I was going to do this, so I knew it was going to happen.
And did you ever doubt yourself?
I like to say it this way. I didn't doubt myself because I know that's weird. I trust my future self. Like, I trust my mindset and what I'm capable of, so I trust that me in the future can get it done.
And did you automatically trust yourself, or that's something that you kind of built through the work?
It was the confidence that was built. So it's like, I also like trust in the future self, but it's also like, all right, I gotta do this for my past self. Make my younger self proud, basically.
Yeah.
Like, if I would have seen myself today, like, I would be like, yo, that's me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm inspiring that many people. I have that many followers. Although I knew I was gonna do it, it was like, it's still like, I actually did it, bro. It's like amazing looking at it. It's like still like crazy, because like although I was like passionate about doing it, I did this for God, like, but I never really wanted to do this for God. I never wanted to play football. I never wanted to do all that for God. It's like God still gave me the plan despite not me wanting to do it.
When did you start taking football serious?
After that day, after the game.
After the catch?
After that game.
So after 7th grade, you were full on. Football
I
was
full on. I've tried to quit multiple times, but God just led me back every single time. So.
Actually, do you have a story of like you quitting and?
Yeah, this year.
Oh, what happened with that? Actually, since that's super recent. So.
Yeah, that's super recent. So basically, God has a funny thing where it's like, all right, when I try to go through my own thing, it doesn't really work out. So basically, around this year, when it comes to the school I go to, A&T, I went there. I'm gonna fast rewind to last year. I'm gonna make sure the timeline is aligned correctly. I went to the camp, did what I needed to do. It was a coach there currently. They didn't have enough spots. They were like, all right, we're having walk-on trials in the spring of this year. So I go through the fall semester, preparing for the spring trials. Then we get to December, the coach leaves. So it's like, all right, the coach is gone. What's gonna happen next? So I think we get to March, and they announced that they're having walk-on trials. I heard a rumor that you had to have a 3.4 GPA to walk on at the school. I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. Because I had a 3.18. There's no way that I came all the way out here from Florida. I did that. My journey's leading up to it is stopping. I can't continue on because I don't have a 3.4 GPA. I'd never heard of that, but I was like, all right, God, let's just see what happens. So I go to the meeting. I go to the walk-on meeting. It's true. And I asked them, can I use my high school GPA? They said, yeah, but when I turned in the papers, they didn't accept it. They said they were calling people. I didn't get the call. It was like, all right. Dang. So at that point, I was like, I can't continue on like this, bro, because it's like, I'm tired of being the underdog, like tired of getting disappointed constantly. Because it's like, although I like seen like a multitude of success with what I'm doing, I feel like I wasn't where I wanted to be. I was still like struggling with certain.
You fell short a little.
Yeah, I fell short. It was like, bro, what am I even doing? So I was like, all right, God, guess I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna post different types of videos, post like financial literacy, do drop ship and stuff like that. Just move on with certain stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was like, all right, I can still be me without doing the football videos, bro. God is a funny thing, bro. When I tried doing it, bro, it just didn't feel right. Because like I don't do it for the money, I do it for him. So it's like, if I'm trying to do something that's not according to his will, it's like I can't even do it. I can't even force myself to do it. Like it just wouldn't happen. So after that, it was like, all right. During the summer, I'm like, you know what? All right, God, I'm gonna give it one more shot. That was after I told my mom, I told my mentor, I told all my homeboys, all right, I'm done playing football. And then after that, it was like, I changed my mind. I'm not done playing. It was like, bro, after you done told everybody you were done, and then fast forward to the summer, I'm like, all right, if I can't play here in the fall, let me transfer out. I'm gonna go to a different school, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do. But then it gets towards June, and I'm like, all right, I didn't drop out the school yet. I didn't transfer. Like I got my transcripts and stuff like that. I sent it to a coach, a D3 school in Pittsburgh. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go out and get into the school. And then I see that A&T announces that they're having a camp June 28th and July 10th. June 20th and July 10th. So I'm like, all right, I see the dates, but I'm not going to those camps. I ended up going to both camps. And I told the coach on the visit, I was like, I never went on the visit. I told the coach that, yeah, I'm walking on an A&T. I'm playing football in the fall. It was just like, that's what God is telling me to do. So
this coming fall.
Yeah, this coming fall. Like, I'm gonna be playing. Like, there's no.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed, but that's what God is.
You believe.
I believe that.
Wait. This is gonna age well.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna age super well because you haven't said this publicly that you're saying like, nah, I know I'm gonna walk on.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know.
you know what I'm saying? Like you don't see the authenticity, the faith behind the process of getting there. But what exactly changed? Was it your mind after that experience that changed, or what was it?
It was just basically realizing like you can't run away from this plan, bro. If God has it destined for you, you can't.
Now you've gotten to a point where you truly believe in all your heart that you becoming the creator that you're gonna become, you making it to the NFL, all this stuff is gonna come, like 100%.
I would say 100%.
Not 100%, but on God's timing, I'll say.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And
because I feel like the amount of people that would be impacted by me succeeding in this would be astronomical, bro. Because it's like, I shouldn't have made it this far. I shouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing right now. Like, like the 9th grade me, bro, like the scrawny kid who could barely run routes was absolutely terrible. He had a passion. So like that kid making it all the way, would literally, and documented it, would be something like absolutely crazy. I don't know if you've seen the Kanye West documentary, but like he documented his journey from the beginning. When I saw it, I was like, whoa, bro.
Yeah.
Like before the fame, all that, he knew that he would accomplish those things, bro. That was just like,
and I think it's like it says in the Bible, to walk by faith and not by sight, but to really believe in what you're working for. And I think, like you said, it comes through the work. The confidence comes through like you putting in the work, because then you know, hold up, this is for me, you know. But I also find it interesting that you said 9th grade year you weren't top dog.
yeah.
Senior year, you still weren't top dog, but you still were able to make it to a position that you're at now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Never been top dog, really.
yeah, but it's interesting because it seems like the opportunity is always present for you to continue on with this journey.
Yeah, it's like continuing.
Yeah, it's not like it's like, even though you weren't top dog, it's not like it just stopped right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you think, if you had to look back and say 3 qualities that allowed you to get from that 9th grade 5'3" Cam to where you're at now, what would you say it is?
3 qualities?
3 qualities.
All right. 3 qualities. Determination. Qualities. Passion. Are those the same thing?
No.
All right. Passion.
Probably. I don't know.
Determination, passion, and confidence.
Confidence. What does confidence look like to you?
The way you talk, the way you walk, basically everything you do. Basically, like the confidence that I have in God. Basically, because it's like, although like I know God's telling me to that I'm gonna be walking on this fall, I have to walk by faith. So I'm aligning everything. I told my job that, oh yeah, I can't work this fall because I'm gonna be playing football this fall. I'm aligning everything where it's like, all right, I know I'm gonna be playing. I know I'm gonna be walking on this fall.
Yeah.
Like I'm lining certain things. Where it's like,
Yeah.
even though if it doesn't happen, everything is still aligned so that I be prepared for it to happen.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by confidence.
Yeah. And kind of, I want to go back to the beginning. What do you think, what were some lessons from your early childhood, I mean, before that middle school, that your parents and your mentors taught you that you've been able to carry on?
Parents or mentors taught me. That's a good question. I'm trying to
Yeah. Now, some questions people have to think about.
Yeah. You repeat that question again?
So, like, just certain things, like even a little lesson that they'll tell you. Like my father always told me, like, you can always take the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. And that's just something that stuck with me. And every time I'm like, I want to be helpful to someone, I just remember that. So do you have something maybe like a parable or just something that your parents told you, that your parents or mentors that they told you when you were a kid that you kind of still remember to this day?
It most definitely told me a lot of things. But I
What-
can't remember at this point.
They told, just in case your mom's watching, you remember it all. You just can't pinpoint
I
it.
can't pinpoint it. Like, I feel like the stuff that they told me, like I applied it, it just naturally came.
Yeah.
Like, they were like
Yeah.
putting it into my head. So like,
Yeah, it just becomes second
so
nature.
It becomes second nature to the point where it's like you don't even realize you're doing it. Like,
Yeah.
listen, Mom, you raised me. You did a great job.
You did a
I'm
great
not saying
job.
You didn't do anything. I'm just saying that it's so into my head. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, it's just natural.
Yeah.
At this point, where it's like,
Yeah.
I can't even think of certain things. Where it's,
Yeah.
don't leave my sisters alone at the house. Simple stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I have to.
Yeah. What do you say to the kids, the Cam out there that's listening and watching, that wants to do the impossible, that isn't the top dog, that doesn't have the stars? What do you say to that person on achieving their goals and keep going forward, whether or not you see the results right away? What do you say to that person?
With God, all things are possible. Man. With God, all things are possible. Nothing's impossible with Him. If it's according to His plan, according to His will, there's absolutely nothing that can stop Him.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. That's real. And kind of, I want to talk about your walk of faith. Because I mean, I would assume, like you said, you got saved 7th grade, but your faith has strengthened over the years.
Strengthened. Yeah, it's definitely strengthened.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned in your walk of faith that have been important?
That this walk of faith, it's not easy because it's like, especially because like you don't see many people walking in faith. Like people talk about God, do this, do that.
Yes.
Not many people actually walk it. Like you don't see that many young men actually saving themselves from marriage. You don't see a lot of people doing that. Like when it came to like playing football, you know how football players be, bro.
Yeah.
Like you tell your teammate, I told my teammates, yeah, I'm saving myself from marriage. They're like, bro, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Look, you tripping, bro. Like when we get back to school, you already know what we about to do. About to get turned up. Like, but nah, I was like, not on that, bro. Especially when I got to college, it's the same thing, bro. I'm not focused on any of that. Just God's plan, bro, and just continue to pursue and climb up.
Yeah.
Just staying focused on that path and remembering what He's called me to do.
Yeah. And how do you not give into the temptations, like you said, when the people around you aren't walking in faith? How do you?
Somebody told me this the other day, where basically in the Bible it says we can't resist temptation, but to flee from it.
Flee from it, yeah.
temptation. So when I do see the temptation, I run away.
You run away.
Ask God to give me strength and just go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they struggle seeing it because like it goes on their Instagram feed, their TikTok, but a lot of people don't know you can control what you see on these sites. So like if I do see something explicit stuff like that, click not interested, get it off my page. So like even if there's certain people that I follow, it's like, all right, I'm muting this person. I don't want to see their stories anymore. If I get tempted by certain people, I mute them, unfollow them, remove them. So it's like you want to get rid of these things before you even get tempted.
You know, when you hear Jesus, what is that like? What do you feel? What do you think about? Like, who is Jesus?
That's my savior. That's the man who saved my life. That's my savior. That's what I see it as. And a lot of people, they try to discredit it, but it's like that man rose. never ever rose from the dead, bro. You've never heard anybody else do that. I think that's what separates Christianity from a lot of religions. It's like, it's about how good you have to be to get towards heaven, but it's like, God came towards us. God came down from heaven and sacrificed his life on that cross for us.
Yeah.
And it's like, nothing we ever do will make up for it. Nothing. That's why you have to accept him as your savior.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the only way to get there.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, you see the big differentiator in other religions, because in other religions, like, with Buddha, what's that called?
Buddhism?
Buddhism, so something like that, right? You have to be peaceful. You have to find your own peace. You're looking for yourself. And I was actually having a conversation with myself that it's funny because the world tells us, find your purpose, find your happiness or whatever. But the Bible's telling us, find Jesus. And when we find Jesus, that's when we find our purpose. And it's counterintuitive because the world tells us something else when that's the complete not truth. And I think now, obviously, there's a spiritual warfare. There's always going to be a spiritual warfare, but that has always been solid. The truth. I think the truth is that has always been solid. And it's interesting to see you wanting to leverage your platform to spread that, to spread the truth, to spread the gospel. And definitely more in the future as time goes on, you have a bigger platform to spread it off of. So kind of to wrap it up, I want to get your mind. Where do you see yourself 2 years from now, from today?
2 years from today. Playing college football. Videos recorded every game day, posted on YouTube, mic'd up. I don't know about that part. They might not allow that.
Yeah. That would be cool, though. That would be interesting.
That would be cool. Basically, just tracking my journey and tracking the progress as I was before. Looking back, like, whoa, bro, 2 years ago, I wasn't on this team. 2 years ago, I didn't think I would be here today. But literally every single year, what I notice is I make leaps. Even though it's like not completely noticeable to the outside people, it's like mindset-wise, like I make leaps every single year.
Yeah.
Every single year, I make more progress than I did the last year. So in 2 years, I would probably be a whole different person at a whole other level.
Yeah, learn new lessons, reach new heights, be at a different success level, everything. Yeah. Then finally to put the ribbon on the bow, on the present. Because I think it's interesting. I think your story is one of like, usually athletes and people that are successful, like you said, the top dogs, they're kind of born like 7th grade, 8th grade, like they already have the name and just, you can see by the end of high school, they have all the offers and all that stuff. But your story is really interesting because you're taking 2 different paths. You're being a leader in both industries, like being an athlete and being a creator. And you're harmonizing that in a way as like, no matter what, I'm still gonna keep pushing through it. And I think it's beautiful to see that. So now finally, knowing all that you know, going through all that you've been through, what's the best advice that you can finally give to the world, to your audience? Like if you had to say one last thing, someone asked you, you knew your last video was coming, like you had to make the last video because whatever it is, you had to make the last video, and you have one message to share. What would that final message be?
I wouldn't say it's a message, but basically, look at my first video. Look at where I came from. Look at it from the beginning, and look at where I'm at now, bro. If I can do it, anybody can do it, bro. If you can do it, I did it through God, with God, bro. If He can do it for me, He can do it for you. Look at where I can. I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. And in my eyes, I haven't done anything too special, crazy yet, but it's like,
it's noticeable progress.
Yeah, it's noticeable progress. So it's like, if He's done this for me in this amount of time, and like my pastor was telling me this yesterday, when it came to all the stories in the Bible, Moses, Jacob, all of those, like these stories didn't just happen. Like we're reading through it. These stories didn't just happen in like 1 year, 2 years. Like these are span of 15 years, 30 years, stuff like that, bro. Like this stuff takes time, and it's just like, enjoy the process, bro. That's the one thing I have to say. Enjoy the process, because it's like, don't get too stuck on the goals, because you have to enjoy the journey along the way. Yeah. That's what really matters, and I really think that's what my story represents. Is I'm focused on the improvement aspect of everything I do. Just continue to improve each year, each video. You see that every single time, improvement.
Yeah,
Just enjoy the process, bro.
I think this video is gonna age like wine.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better with time. And when you get to that position that you're at a new level, then you're gonna have more to share about. And then we go back, and now when my platform's bigger, your platform, we come to him, bro, remember that conversation we had that you was prophesizing and all that stuff? But no, I think it's real, and I think the audience was able to relate to your story, and you're still building your story, so it's something everlasting. So truly, if you made it to the end, I really hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you took some lessons from his story, took some principles, something that you could apply to your life. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out our Instagram, the Leaders Talk Podcast. Feel free to check out his Instagram. I'll tag it, KAMTOOFYE. And stick along for the journey, because like you've seen in this video, it's one that's gonna manifest. It's one that's gonna come to life. And I truly think it's gonna age like wine. But anything else you wanna leave off on?
Yeah, before we go, man, we got somebody special here. This man is gonna do amazing things, bro. He's a special
Appreciate
guy,
that.
bro. I remember him from 7-on-7, bro. He's passionate about this, bro. He loves doing this, man. I can't wait to see how far you go, bro.
Appreciate it.
You got amazing things planned for you.
Can't wait to see how far you go. No, we're both going to new heights. We're gonna reach new heights, and we're gonna look back and we're gonna reflect. We're gonna talk about good memories and all that stuff. But
We do an interview like each year, bro.
each year we're gonna eat that way. We both get it. Hey, where you at? Where you at? You know what I'm saying?
Just to update the audience, stuff like
100%. No, but I think this was I enjoyed this interview a lot. Definitely one of my favorites, and I look forward to the couple of next ones. So thank you guys so much for making it to the end. Feel free to check out all the links in the bios. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one.